Christmas, everyone. Ted here, Eagle Cap Outdoors, and today we are doing a side-by-side comparison of two of the best backpack coolers on the market. We have the RTIC Backpack Cooler, just recently released by RTIC, and we have the YETI Hopper Backflip. And these are both very good coolers, but we are matching them up side by side. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to test to see how each cooler holds a bag of ice. And so I'm going to put a bag of ice and see how the RTIC zipper, nice and sturdy. So we're going to see what it looks like inside. We are going to throw a 10-pound bag of ice in this, and there we gave them a little head start because they got the ice in the cooler already. Now we're going to put in the YETI. Also, here I'll show you that as well. So that's what the inside of the YETI cooler looks like. We'll put the 10-pound bag of ice in there, zip it back up, and we are now going to check these in the morning, and we'll check them tomorrow night, and we'll see if both coolers still have a full bag of ice or what's melted. And we're also, after the ice melts, we're going to tip these coolers upside down and see if these zippers are truly waterproof, see if they hold all the liquid inside. Okay, so last night around 10 p.m. we put ice in both of these coolers, and so we're going to just check it out, see what happened, and see if the ice is melted at all or completely, and we're going to see if one cooler is doing better than the other. So we're going to start with the YETI. I'm going to open that up. All right, so as you can see here, most of the ice is still there. So we're going to actually open the RTIC now. This is almost 24 hours. Once again, most of the ice is still there as well. So that's pretty impressive over almost 24 hours. And these coolers have sat in a house that's around anywhere between 68 and 72 degrees for about 24 hours, and the ice has held up really nice. So I'm now going to take the ice out of these bags, and actually I'm not going to worry about taking the ice out of the bags because I've had enough water in the bottom of each of these, and we're going to test the zippers. So we're going to see if we get water all over the living room floor, or family room floor. So we're going to start with the RTIC. Put it upside down. I don't see any water coming out. No water coming out around the zipper where it connects. So let's check out the YETI now. Make sure I got that closed. All right, so there's the YETI. And it looks like no water coming out of this one either where the zipper closes. So both coolers have stood up to their claim of not leaking the water or being waterproof and not allowing the water out of the cooler, which means you won't get water in either if you took these out on a raft with you or out boating. Okay, so we just tested these coolers to see how the ice had done. Both did extremely well. So now we're going to actually measure the amount of water that we have. So if I just make sure we undo the bag, let the water out, put the ice in here. Now we're going to measure and see how much we have. So that's pretty close. 1 cup. There's 2 2 cups. Two and 3/4. And we're going to have to dump this. So that was, the other one was 1.5. So we had 2 cups, 2 cups, so that's 5.5, and then another 1.5 would make it 7 cups. So now we're going to do the same thing with the Arctic. Pour the water back in there, and let's see what we have. So, all right, so here we go. There's 2 cups. Try to do the math as I go this time. We're at 4 cups. A little bit more. 6 cups. And pour the rest in here. Without spilling it. So 1 3/4 cups, and so that puts us at 7 3/4. So the YETI was 7 cups of water. The Arctic was 7 3/4 cups of water. So stay tuned. Next is going to be the test of the amount of cans that would fit in each one of these. Okay, so now we are going to look at the capacity of these 2 coolers, the Arctic and the YETI. Arctic says that you can fit 30 cans and a bag of ice in their cooler. As you can see, I actually have 32 cans in here, so I think we could actually probably fit a little bit more, but I'm not sure I'd get the whole bag of ice in there if I had that many cans. So now I'm going to zip it up and see how this thing performs, at least filled with cans. So it's heavy. Put the straps on. Adjust it here. Now we have a waist belt. Get it hooked on. So this definitely fits different once it's weighted down than it did when it had no weight in it. So when it wasn't weighted down, the waist belt doesn't come down as far as it needs to, but when you have enough weight in it, the waist belt actually does come down. Now, if I were quite a bit taller person, we would really have to loosen off the straps, and so I'm not quite sure how that would work out. I think there's enough throw here that it would work for people. But you have a waist belt here, there's padding on the belts. You also, if you're going to hike for any distance, take some pressure off if you bring this together. So they did a pretty good job with their strap system. It's definitely riding low on my back, and it's hard with a backpack like this or a setup like this to get it extremely well adjusted, but not too bad. We're going to see how the YETI works, and then we'll talk about both of them together. We now have the YETI cooler, and YETI says that their cooler fits 20 cans, beer or soda, and ice. So you can see in here, it's not as wide. I actually have 30 cans in this one as well. So it fit as many cans as the Arctic. It just doesn't have as much space here for ice. So now I'm actually going to, I wanted to have 30 cans in this one as well, or close, so that I can feel the difference. So we're going to put this pack on. As you see here, the YETI pack has similar situation. It has the straps. You also have a waist belt that you can add on if you want. You don't have to. When it's really loaded down, it can help distribute the weight. And then you have this here to help bring the front together. So just in terms of general overall comfort, because this one doesn't have the flaps on the waist, it's actually more comfortable than the RTIC. And it feels more comfortable on my shoulders. Now this is packed down with 30 cans. I'm not sure I'm going to be carrying 30 cans all the time, but I would probably have as much weight if I filled it up with ice on top of it. So anyway, this is what it looks like on. Feels very comfortable. I could see packing this around. Both of these I could easily see packing down to the boat or packing out to a lake or something. You're not going to pack this into the mountains super deep, but anyway, this is what it looks like, and so far so good. I like this one. Probably from a comfort standpoint, I've got to give this one to YETI. We've tested both the YETI Hopper Backflip and the RTIC Backpack Cooler. These are both soft coolers. A couple different things about these. You can see the RTIC is a little bit bigger and bulkier. I think it's because of the insulation inside. It's thicker. From a weight standpoint, they're pretty close. You know, the RTIC might be a hair bit lighter. It's probably because the foam is not as thick or as dense. You can see the YETI is not as thick here, which means it has denser foam in order to perform. A few other things, the YETI lid will actually open and stay open. The RTIC lid, the way it's designed here, it automatically closes. You know, when you're filling a cooler, it's nice to be able to leave the lid open. YETI has a handle at the very top of the cooler. RTIC does not. RTIC has a handle system that comes over, so you can carry it like this. YETI has one on the back, and so it's a little bit different. YETI, you can carry on the sides. RTIC, you can carry on the sides. RTIC has this little contraption you can attach things to. You could probably put an opener on that. You can see the strap system is a little more involved on the RTIC, and you have a padding here, whereas it's pretty simple and straightforward on the YETI. There's the YETI logo, but no padding there. Very simple strap system, yet comfortable. From a performance standpoint, both of these coolers will serve you well to keep your beverages cold through the day when you're out playing around. The YETI performs slightly better in performance. The RTIC fits a little bit more, and so it actually has a bigger capacity. The style, I'd give the style to YETI over RTIC. RTIC just looks a little more bigger, bulkier, and a little more rugged. And comfort, I give to YETI. Overall, both of these are great coolers, but if I had to choose one as the top shelf item, it would be the YETI cooler. So go check these out. You wouldn't be disappointed by either of these. And just one thing to keep in mind, this YETI goes for $299, the RTIC goes for $149. So this is half the price, and yet it's being matched up with the YETI cooler. So keep that in mind, and if price is at all a factor, the RTIC is going to serve you extremely well. Thank you, and come back and see us. Like us, subscribe to us, come to our website, check out the written review, and keep paying attention to the content we put out. We're going to try to put out more reviews in 2021, so come visit us. Thank you.